and thank you for watching my video Emma's Life in Norfolk, where I talk about my garden and other things that I get up to in Norfolk and beyond. So today I'm going to be showing you me clearing up in the garden in beautiful spring sunshine, tidying the garden up in places and also taking some cuttings. So it's a fantastic time of the year to think about taking cuttings. So I start my video with a little pan around and visit to my greenhouse. So you can see I've got a lot to do. This is my working area within my garden, and you can see I've got a lot to sort out because it is really untidy. I'm going to get rid of that little table which is rotting. I need to get rid of the grass to allow some of the plants to have a chance of surviving, and I need to have a weed and clear up in here. It has got quite damp. So I think it's partly because we've watered the greenhouse twice a day all the way through the winter, which is probably more than what we needed to. So my brown bin has been emptied now, which means I can fill it up again. Now I've got that big bag, but I'm not going to empty that. I'm going to clear up all the piles here. I'm just going to move the bin over slightly, so I'm a bit closer. Anyway, how is everybody today? Is it sunny like this where you are? Because we are having some lovely, lovely, lovely sunny days. And this is my lunch break. I thought I ate my food really quickly, and then I thought, eat my food really quickly, and then I'm going to quickly clear up. I also need to start putting things away. I'm not great at putting things away. I really am not. But I will get better. There was sort of little piles all around. And a lot of these now, I've got to be careful of my thorns. A lot of these have started to break down and lose the moisture, so I'll get more in the bin as well. But this is now not collected for another every 2 weeks it gets collected. So it's just been collected. What's that? And then it'll be collected again in a couple of weeks. Oh, I just saw something in my bed from Morocco. I'd love to go back to Morocco. But what happens whenever we're thinking about holidays, Morocco comes up in discussion, but it loses out to other places. There's so many places to go and not enough time to go. You can see also, I've still got the steps out, but we need to find space in the shed for those. Careful, there's thorns. Oh, joking. I got so many splinters the other day of thorns in my hands. My husband said, you should be wearing gloves. And he's right. And I'm surprised nobody yet has mentioned about me not wearing gloves. I don't like wearing gloves. It's just how it is. I feel like I can't garden properly wearing gloves. Anyone else the same? But when I'm near thorns, I should wear gloves. Oh good, this is really going to squash down. Fantastic. So nice thinking about the weekends. So what are you all planning to do this weekend? So we've got a few ideas. with Saturday, we often get up late, and my daughter watches television in our room. We have breakfast in bed, and it's really nice, but sometimes we get up really late. And this weekend, we need to choose her a new dress for an event she's attending. So she's very excited about that. And I said, well, we can't go unless we get up at a decent time. So that's what we're doing on Saturday. And she got such a good school report. She's also going to be allowed to choose a mini verse. Have you heard of them? They are like miniature things that you do for real, often in resin. So that's what she's wanting to get. Oh, I thought it was a worm for a minute. I don't want to stand on a worm. And then we'll go into Norwich city centre. I'll see if I remember to take a little clip and show you. And then we're going to have lunch in the city. And then we'll come back home. And then on Sunday, we were thinking if it's sunny, we thought about going to Sheringham Park or Holt Country Park. Holt Country Park is lovely for lots of different trees though, but you get a lot of shade there, not much sun. So then we started talking about our lean-to. And remember my video way back where we put the new patio down? We were going to have a new lean-to because that one's from the 1930s. So we were talking about that. And I was talking about potentially cutting my vine down. I love my vine and I've protected my vine, but it really is not in a great location. And you know what I think about cutting things down when they're not in great locations. I've kept it for how many years? A lot of years. But my husband was looking up about taking cuttings of a vine. So I thought that might be one option. If I take the cuttings and grow like 4 or 5 vines, and I can show you how I do that in the greenhouse, then I wouldn't feel so bad about cutting down the actual vine. And there's lots of stuff to do in the house and garden. So we were having this conversation about going out for a picnic, and then actually I think, how about we stay at home, have a picnic in the garden and do the things that we need to do at home. So that is what we're thinking. So I'm not going to take too much off the top of this, just a little bit. But it looks like I've managed to get a lot in there. I need something heavy now to push that down. Oh, there's this big bit of rose. That can go in there. Nasty, nasty thorns. I love roses, but I'm not keen on the thorns. I need my clippers for that. I think I'll have to... Oh! I do this every video now. Sorry. I haven't got a thorn. I've made it bleed, but I haven't got a thorn in my finger. Ouch! Sorry if that made anybody jump. That's the last thing I'd want to do. So I'm just going to show you in the greenhouse so you can see how my lupins are doing. Then I'm going back to work and I'll continue over the weekend. So then you can see me tidying up a little bit around the side of my house. I do need to do a bigger clear up. This is not an area that I enjoy focusing on, so it does get a bit untidy. We really should just have the bins there and nothing else. But instead we've got various things that are piled up. My tete-a-tete are looking lovely. This water butt at the front was leaking, but now apparently is being able to hold the water. So I don't know whether my husband was able to fix it after all. But unfortunately the one at the front is now full up with water and you can't get the watering can in there very well, which is not ideal. But I just thought that back water butt is full, so I thought I'd empty it out a bit. Hello, so today I'm going to talk through how I'm going to cut some cuttings from my vine and hopefully propagate them, and then I'll show you over the coming weeks how successful that is. So first of all, I've got quite a lot at the back door here, so I'm going to clear some things out of the way. And I'm probably going to take some sections up here, but we've got to make sure that it's like recent growth. And what I didn't do a very good job of was I cut things back and didn't think about cuttings. So now I've got to hope there are actually sections that I could take for cuttings. So it might be a bit of a challenge. You know how I don't like cutting things down and moving things, but vines are quite temperamental, and we're going to be replacing this. And what my concern is that we'll end up disturbing the vine and then we might lose it completely. And in any case, I'm afraid to say that does really affect our patio, with it now being stuck in the middle there. So I'm going to see how I'm going to get on. Need to put my shoes on, outside shoes on first, rather than walk about with my slippers on. There's lots of things at the back door that I need to clear up, but I should do that on my other channel, really. Right, let's get my cutters. Now, I looked at what another YouTuber did. So I think there's a possible bit there. Of course, it's very bright today. I need my sunglasses on. So that might be 1, 2. And then what he did was that he took off the bark. Yeah, it's very green. Don't know whether you can see very well what I'm doing. Let me get a bit closer. Probably doesn't help, because it probably still focuses on the back bit. There's one. Another one there. Yeah, that's lovely and green. And probably another bit there. Yeah, good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to go into the greenhouse and set some pots up with new compost. Now, why have I put them there? I'll take them with me. Now, before I fill up the pots, I just want to talk a little bit through how I've got on here. So you can see everything is watered nicely. My husband's changed it so the water's only coming on once a day. Some of my lupins are really getting on very well. Like, look at that one. That's quite dry there though. So it might be these ones aren't getting much water. So I might shuffle them around. That's all, the water system is all on this, but it's a bit hit and miss. I'm going to change this to a longer one and see how I get on with that. Look at this poached eggplant. That's gone all the way through the winter, flowering like that. It's really nice. And that's another one. And that's my nemesia from last year. And I'm really pleased that that's doing so well. And has survived the winter. It wouldn't have survived the winter if it had been outside. Right, let's have a little look for some suitable pots for my vines. So what it said online is that they need to be quite deep. So there's some here that might be suitable. These are quite big, but I want to give them the best chance. I'm also running out of space again, aren't I? What should I do? I could. I wonder if these up here are being watered okay. They look okay. I have this every single year where I run out of space. These do still look very, very wet. Very, very wet. I'm going to put that over in the corner. I've got midges in here, little flies, breeding in the soil. And like I said to you the other day, didn't I, that you do get pests when you overwinter if you don't use chemicals, and I don't. What I'd just like to have is a little working area. Do you know what I mean? Just like this area where it's not got pots, so I can just work. Might put some up here. Might put some up here, because that would encourage root growth. If I put some plants in here, that would encourage the roots. Maybe I'm best not to put my biggest and best one in. Put some of the smaller ones in. It creates a bit more space. I can put that up there, and it gets watered well up there as well. Oh my goodness, that's absolutely full. So I'm going to try not to get soaked. Maybe it's like full of like some sort of mossy stuff as well. It's all fizzing and water, that one. Look, frog spawn up there. Be funny. Oh, green algae. Like some sort of green algae that's grown. Oh, yuck. Don't know what that is. Oh, I think it's probably soil with then like sort of a green algae on the top, and it's just got waterlogged. Wonder what was going on then. Oh, it's a good job I found this. What have we got there? Slug eggs. Right, we've got a woodlice, a slug, some slug eggs, and a worm. Might just, what are they? Oh, baby worms. Maybe they were worm eggs then. And this is again the problem when you overwinter. If I didn't have all these plants in here, you then be completely clean and you wouldn't have this problem. Right, that's the pests in there. I'm going to take this back off. Put that there for a sec. Let's have a look underneath this. This is rotting. Slowly rotting. It doesn't really get enough heat to dry out. And these are worms of bread. And a spider. If I can get that to dry out a little bit in the sun. And I'll put these somewhere for, put that there. Right, so if I put these, that's the driest bit. You've got to be careful about putting things up higher up in the greenhouse. Ah! Bother. Because in a really hot day, there's a risk at them getting frazzled. Have I lost this one? No. Put them up there for now. I need a little bin here. That's what I normally have. A little bin. Right, that's created me a little bit more space. Like that. This is all getting far too wet, not being given a chance to dry out. Okay, so I've got two pots that are quite big. Really, I should not have put this on. These clothes on. I should have different clothes on. Because these aren't new clothes, but I don't really want them covered in soil. Famous last words. Just going to put that up there, the sun to warm it a little bit. So what I might do is I might put two in a pot. Like that. Right, so the bit you've cut it is still green. And you can do like the man on YouTube did, called Jack. And this apparently encourages quicker root growth. And that put it in nice and deep, he said. And that's the other one that I just did. So again, put it in quite deep. And what he said was, you need to press the soil around it really hard because you don't want any air gaps. Put that one up there to warm a bit. Doesn't make a massive difference, just the sunshine on it. Yeah, it's a little bit warmer. So again, the green ends. Well, I'm going to leave you for a minute because I'm going to go and cut a couple more. So I'm just going to cut a few more pieces off, and then I'm going to pot them like I've done the others. So I've got another 3. I can't see whether there's any more really. That might be a bigger one. No, that's not attached. Looks like there might be one in there. Maybe. Let's have a look if I can cut it in there. Let's have a look. Is that green? Yeah, lovely. There's be a couple there. That'd be good. So I've probably got enough now. Might be some down here. Yeah, I'll cut those as well. Right, and I'll go to the greenhouse now and finish this off. So you can see I'm back in the greenhouse and I'm taking off the bark on the bottom of the cuttings and then putting them inside the pots. I'm putting a couple of them right up high to warm the soil really, and then I give them a little drink of water. So I'll come back and see how successful they are. We might get some root, we might not get many root at all. So I'm going to go through some of your comments now. So thank you very much for the comments that you've added to my channel. Really lovely to read the comments, hear where you're from, how your garden is, what you're doing in the garden, what the weather's like. Really, really lovely to hear. So the first comment is from Nan Holmes, and Nan Holmes says, I love that big tree at the end. It's beautiful. Thank you. Bluebird says, good luck with all your spring garden plans. I look forward to seeing the results. Stacey says, wishing you very well on your spring garden. You're doing a wonderful job. I love watching. Thanks so much for sharing. Stacey from Virginia. Dawn Duke says, hi Emma, it's Dawn from Perth here again. I totally love your greenhouse. You're getting a lot done outside. Good for you. The vegetables I've put in from seed are 2 different types of spinach. Cucumber, which are coming on leaps and bounds. Radishes, lettuce, which I think I'll pull out as they aren't doing well. Celery, which I've grown from the piece I cut off before cutting it in the fridge. Wow. It hit 40 degrees here yesterday and the poor plants suffered. Like us humans, can't wait for the heat to go away. Happy gardening, and I'm excited for your next video. A lovely post, thank you very much. It's quite difficult to show you what I'm doing because my greenhouse is only small, but a couple of years ago I had some really good luck, success, whatever you want to call it, with my passiflora cuttings. Now, my video the other day where I cut down my passiflora, I wish I hadn't just taken it and put it all in the bin, because I should have used some of it for cuttings. So I sold a couple and gave a couple away. One went to a friend. Actually, he saw me advertising it and he said, oh, can I have it please? And there was no way I was going to charge him for it if he wanted it, and I was happy for him to have it. I'm also going to try honeysuckle. Never taken a cutting for a honeysuckle before, but got to be fairly good time to do it. So I'm going to move these over. Here's the soil that I'm going to use. There's my little acrolecia that's coming up there. These ones can balance on the edge. so it gives me a bit more space. So I'm going to use this pot for one of them. So this is my first bit, and what I'm going to do is the plants are quite deep, but I'm going to cut the leaves off where it's going to be in the soil and hope that I get root growth from the little nodes. I'm going to cut that one off as well, because you don't want that to just rot. Yeah, that'd be good. There'll be two there that'll go in. So I'm going to put it in nice and deep. And hold it in the middle. And then press it down. Now, what would be really good if I had it was a stick, but I've got sticks, but you know me, I can't find them. Oh, that will do. So as it grows, it'll go around that. Need some other pots. And that's the thing, isn't it? I always say, oh, I've got loads of pots, but when you need a pot of a certain size, I don't have them. That'll be okay. What's this one? This one's got old soil in. Put that in there for a minute. Make sure there's no worms, because the worms will eat the new growth, as I've unfortunately found many times. It does cost to buy the soil, but you get far more success. Oh, I hope I don't knock the camera. Oh. Don't want to lose it, go on the floor. Might give that back to my dad, because he collects kindling for me when he walks his dog. So I'll do a similar thing. So trim it neatly. And again, put it in nice and deep. You want to try put it in the middle where possible. And then press that down. But I think all my little sticks, I think I got rid of all my little sticks. So I thought, oh, I don't ever use those. Yeah. It's unfortunate. So it doesn't look like I've got any others. Oh, I need to really tidy up and make it easier to find things. And this is a big one, so I do need a stick for this. Like my other soil. Oh, there it is. It's quite heavy. I've got to be careful lifting heavy things after I hurt myself. Need to do some weeding in here as well, really. Lovely aqualesia coming up, but not really in the right place. I do need a stick with that. Right, I'm going to go and find some sticks. That's good. Whoops. Okay, so you don't know the stick yet. Is that right? You'll like it in time. I always think with these things, have a go. Sometimes you'll have great success, other times you might not. But if you don't try, you'll never know, will you? People often say, oh, things die when I look after them. I'm brown fingered or whatever. But sometimes you just need to have a go. And if it dies, know that the best gardeners have some things that are not successful. They just probably don't tell you. I'm sorry you're sort of seeing the back of my head for some of the time, aren't you? I always think that when I watch gardening programmes on TV, all those wonderful ideas, you never see them actually whether they work or not, do you? Well, sometimes they go back to their gardens and show you, but not always. You're left wondering, what happened to those cuttings that they took? Well, maybe they didn't come up, so you never saw them again. And what might happen here is I might get one come up, and yet I've treated them all the same way. So who knows? We'll see. Whoops, I think you want to go the other way. Am I right? Sort of. And then the honeysuckle, I've never done a honeysuckle before, so we'll see what happens. I haven't even looked online as to whether you can actually propagate it. So it's got two chances, hasn't it? If it doesn't work, oh, some of my pots out here are crumbling to pieces. Oh, I don't like that because it'll all get plastic in the environment. That one can go straight in the bin, it's all breaking off, crumbling. And that one I saw was also crumbling, so they can go in the bin together when I have finished. Didn't want bits of plastic in the environment. I felt awful one year when I used to put plastic bags in my compost bin, because if you use the right type of plastic bags, which I did in some instances and didn't in others, that really helps everything break down and the worms breed, which helps even more. But I used one wrong plastic, and that meant that all the tiny little pieces of plastic went into the soil, and that upset me actually. I contacted my father-in-law and said, what do you think? And he said, well, there's not much you can do. Don't worry about it too much, because you work so hard for nature. You can try and clear it up as best as you can. So it'll be interesting what happens with these. Again, you don't want to put leaves in there, because the leaf will just rot. And it's just a great time to do this. That's it. I think I might need to do that one as well. And then while I potter about, I'll go indoors and see, because my husband has done lunch for us all, which is nice. He did a workout on the bike. He'll have an appetite as a result. And My daughter's doing some chemistry revision. So I sat with her and helped her create her to-do list so she could get started. There you go. So I'm only doing 4 of those in one pot to see what happens. These don't really trail. I don't think I'll put that in there actually. But at least I've got these for next time that I should put in my safe place. So I'll put them in the bin. This should all go in the brown bin because that's all weeds and so on. And I'll tuck that there. So I will share with you how I've got on, and I'll do a little update later on so you can see how my cuttings are doing and whether they're sprouting and whether they're growing, and please let me know if you've taken any cuttings. So thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you next time on Emma's Life in Norfolk.